Hey! So, over the last couple of weeks, I've had a number of people reaching out to me and also observed that some of the energetic things that are happening right now are stirring up a lot of unresolved conflict and trauma for people. It's the season of letting things go. But it's challenging to let things go when you don't know how to get to the root and the source of things that may be tied to other things at a deeper source. And there's a lot of banter on the interwebs these days about avoidance having to do with attachment styles and explaining how they're formed and where they come from. One of the things that used to frustrate my neurospicy brain endlessly on this path is that I could identify the what, the where, the who, the when, but I couldn't always figure out the how do I address this? How do I heal this? And I felt for a number of years frustrated because I felt when I would go to therapists, I could identify all those things and I would say, well, how do I do this? And they couldn't give me satisfactory answers. Or I would have spiritual mentors and I would ask them questions related to these discoveries that I had made internally, and I would ask them, but how do I do this? And they couldn't answer me satisfactorily. And so I had to figure it out, adapt and overcome, right? So I'm going to share a technique that I developed for my clients in my practice that is a fusion, because that seems to be part of what I'm really good at. Is I am a being full of paradox, finding the fulcrum point of paradoxes, because that's where the balance is, like a seesaw. So I incorporate techniques from 12-step models, from IFS, which is Internal Family Systems, which is a specific modality of therapy. Look it up. EMDR, energy healing, to include Reiki, feather tapping, quantum energy healing techniques. And I take all these things that my little brain has amassed throughout a lifetime, many lifetimes, and put it together to create a how. So one of the things that observationally I see people struggling with is that they're in a lot of pain right now, and unintentionally and subconsciously being really codependent on other people to witness them. And we all do this until we're aware of it and how not to do this. So, what I mean by that is a lot of times we we have these pains, we have these traumas, and they're unresolved within us, and they're causing pain, they're causing grief, they're causing resentment, anger, spite, sadness, hurt, etc., etc., etc. And so we codependently latch onto another person to soothe us because we are in avoidance of soothing ourselves. We don't know this, of course, until we know this, because you can't know what you don't know. And when you do know, then you can do better. It's kind of like the proverbial person who's experiencing uncomfortable emotions, and so they light up a cigarette to soothe and to quell. We do that with other people, and we don't even know we're doing it. Because we think that latching onto another person and vomiting all of our pain onto them is going to offer us the relief because they're going to soothe us. But what we're in avoidance of is witnessing and soothing ourselves and integrating those pieces of ourselves that have been fractured in times of trauma, stress, hurt, etc., etc. So I'm going to teach you a technique to be able to start integrating those parts of yourself. So you're going to need a couple of minutes to do this, and preferably you're going to be by yourself, sitting or lying down, and you're going to close your eyes. You're going to put your right hand on your heart. And you're going to bring to mind something that hurts from your past. That could be something that happened a year ago or 30 years ago. But chances are, if it's a pattern repeating in your life, it was rooted in childhood somewhere. So if you can think back to the original point of pain where this happened, let's say it's abandonment or rejection or feeling not good enough or feeling stupid, etc., etc. If you can bring to mind the very first time you remember this happening, do that. And with your eyes closed, you're going to imagine a room in a location. It doesn't have to be a room. It can be in nature. It can be anywhere. But you're going to imagine a place that feels so safe. And you picture the light, the sounds, the colors, the smells, the feelings tactily. And you create everything in this space that brings a sense of calm and safety to you. The only caveat is that in this space, you need to have either a couch with 2 chairs. It's your imagination. Make it work. And when you've imagined this place, either next to you on the couch or in the chair next to you, you're going to bring to mind that version of yourself from childhood. You're going to remember them at the age that the initial fracture occurred. Could be 3, could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. Imagine yourself at that age. And really look at yourself. Look at your hair, look at your eyes, your skin tone, your size. Remember your favorite outfit from that age. Try to bring to mind every detail from you at that age that you can possibly remember in vivid detail. I just want you to look at yourself and give yourself a nickname, whether that's darling or sweetheart or honey or buddy or Bubba or whatever. Give yourself a moniker. And after you've done that, you're going to take little you by the hand and hold your hand over their hand. And you're going to witness yourself, and you're going to witness your pain. And you're going to have a conversation with that part of you at that age. And you're going to ask them to tell you what happened and how it felt and why it hurts. An adult you is going to listen to them. An adult you is going to soothe them and validate their pain. This could take some time, and that's okay. Once you've had that conversation, adult you tells little you that they're safe with you, and that you know that every time this pain comes up, it's because that part of you that's not healed is trying to keep you safe from perceived pain. And assure little you that you can handle it now, because you're an adult and you have vowed to keep little you safe. Say whatever comes to mind that is whatever you're looking for someone outside of yourself to validate in you. And when you've done that, you take that little part of you and you give it a hug, and you imagine that little version of you dissolving into your adult body you. This is an exercise you can do over and over and over, because there's not just one hurt part of us. There's many, many versions of us that have been traumatized and hurt and experienced painful things. And if we can go back and take the time to sit with ourselves and not be in avoidance of our own pain, and sit and witness our own pain and validate our own pain, that's how we start integrating the parts of us that are not integrated. And we stop seeking someone outside of ourselves to soothe us or fill a need that's not their responsibility to fill. And it takes dedication. But this is one technique that you can use to be able to start doing that for yourself. And it's free. So, I hope that's helpful.